I'm going to answer the question today, what is the most common size of a kid's picture book? And what size should I make my kid's picture book? These are common questions because when it comes to formatting and sizing, it's very crucial to getting the book out there into the world, but it's very, very important that you consider the size that you're making before you start anything. I mean, yes, you can start writing, of course, but even still with the writing and the word count and the flow and how many lines you're going to put on a page, it really is affected by the size font, the size of the page, and how much illustration you're going to have in your kid's picture book. And today I'm going to help you think through not only the size, but the ratios. Ratios meaning, are you doing vertical pages or horizontal pages? And even square is an option, which is actually one of my favorite, and I'll tell you about that in a minute. But essentially, there isn't one common size of picture books, but rather a standard and a norm. And I'm going to list them in the description box below that as of today's date, these seem to be the most common as far as the standard sizes. If you are publishing on KDP through Amazon like I do and like I teach within the picture book creators community, you're going to find that KDP makes it really easy. You just click into a link that they have there that is like the sizes and the trim sizes of book options and page counts. And you can see it all laid out very quickly. You can take a handy dandy little ruler and maybe some sample books and figure out like what you want your book to actually be like in the end. And then you pick that dimension, that size and the ratio that you want, and you build your picture book around that decision. And that's really important that you stick to it and you don't get wishy-washy with sizing in the middle of the project, because it can really throw off a lot and waste you a lot of time. So I have personally chosen to do the majority of my children's picture books 8.5 by 8.5, and that's in inches. I have set up InDesign templates on my computer in my Adobe software. I have set up the templates. I do 32 pages. I do soft cover. I pretty much consistently am producing the same quote unquote product so that I know and understand that process, how it looks, what to expect as I'm both writing and illustrating. I know how much text I can kind of fit on a page, what looks good, what size font, and also like the flow of the illustrations in that square format. And so what I wanted to do was choose something that I liked, that I could be consistent on and consistent with, so that my work had a consistency and I could flow into the creative parts a lot easier without thinking about all of the specs and formatting issues. I just wanted that to be decided and done. So I pretty much start every picture book thinking in terms of 8.5 by 8.5 books, soft cover, 32 pages. And I have templates, which I share with you on the inside of the picture book creators community. I share my templates and my systems, but I have templates set up where I can pretty much open up a storyboarding template and storyboard out my book, knowing what size it will be. But there are always exceptions in creativity. And so that's why I'm saying that what you choose and how you envision your project is going to help to determine the size. But pick the size before you start the project. Pick the platform from which you're printing from before you start the project, and know the sizes and specs that they offer. And as I mentioned below, I do have some standard sizes for KDP Amazon in the description. And then remember that the industry does change, and it's important to check up on it. If you're using KDP and Amazon, like just be checking those sizes periodically before you start a project. And just also pay attention, like when you're at the library or you're looking at children's books, on what sizes are popular these days, because I might even have to stay open to changing if like the vertical format and a different ratio is way more popular than the square paperbacks that I'm doing. But for now, what I'm doing is really working, and it's given a smooth ease to my flow of producing children's picture books. So I hope that this has answered you. The answer is there's not one popular size and there isn't one rule for the size that you should create, except to make sure that you know the platform that you're printing from, that you know the offerings that they have for sizes, that you choose the size and stick to the size through the creation of your picture book. I'd love to hear more in the comments about what you've run into as far as sizing, choosing the sizes, what you would recommend. I'd love to hear your thoughts on sizing and formatting there in the comments below. Until next time, keep on writing that story that needs to come out of you and into the world. Picture book creators, I am here for you, believing that your story matters.